Have you ever experienced that strange, unsettling feeling that nothing is real? As if everything around you is a grand, meticulously designed, carefully orchestrated stage, and people are merely actors, interacting with each other according to a script, and you're just a silhouette within this vast, sometimes meaningless, sometimes exhausting play. Everything feels too fast, too bright, too unfiltered by anything. Even a sunset, it seems, looks better with an Instagram filter. From the moment you wake up, your day begins with that nagging question in the back of your mind. What should I post today? Doesn't that strike you as odd? In the dizzying pace of this modern age, our identities are constantly blurring. The lines between our true selves and our digital personas are becoming increasingly thin. The perfect lives we construct on social media eventually start to feel more real than the lives we actually live. Our relationships are defined by likes and comments. The sense of connection behind a touchscreen makes us forget the warmth of a real hug, the depth of a genuine conversation. We find ourselves caught in this relentless flow, this meaningless noise, feeling a profound sense of emptiness, surrounded by a pervasive numbness. So where does this feeling come from? How did this thin, transparent, yet increasingly thick veil of mist between us and reality become so invisible, so insidious? Why do we have so much, yet feel so profoundly alone deep down? When everyone is supposedly so close, why can no one truly touch each other? These questions plague not just my mind, but the minds of millions breathing in this modern era. Today, we will embark on a journey to delve into the origins of this unsettling feeling, to understand it, and perhaps to try and find what is real within this fake world. To understand this feeling, we must knock on the door of one of modern philosophy's most audacious and perhaps most unsettling thinkers, Jean Baudrillard. Baudrillard posits that reality has been replaced by images, by what he calls simulacra. In short, it's when something that has no original, a copy of a copy of a copy, manages to create a sense of reality within us. And this created reality, over time, becomes more dominant, more impactful than reality itself. At first glance, it might sound like science fiction, but let's take a look around us. Consider those perfect moments we share on social media. Filters, angles, lighting, meticulously chosen frames. It's as if everyone is living the best, most flawless version of their lives. The foam on your morning coffee, your fit look at the gym, that romantic dinner. Are these real moments, or are they mere simulacra, consumable images that transform the moment they are shared? According to Baudrillard, these are no longer reality itself, but a model of reality, a simulation. And we, all of us, are witnesses to each other's fabricated happiness, superficial intimacies, and polished successes. Everyone is a broadcaster, each of us the protagonist of our own lives. But behind the scenes, is there a reality as dazzling as that applauded stage? Who can truly know? So what exactly does Baudrillard mean by simulacra? When we delve into the origin of the idea, we're essentially talking about a copy of something. But this is no ordinary copy. Initially, there is an original, and a copy of this original is made. This copy still refers to the original. For example, a photograph of a painting represents the painting itself. However, Baudrillard claims that the simulacrum severs this connection. The simulacrum no longer refers to an original. In fact, sometimes it never had an original at all. It creates its own reality. Baudrillard describes 4 stages of the simulacrum. The reflection of a basic reality, the sign reflects a profound reality, a map represents a city. The perversion of reality, the sign masks and denatures a profound reality. A propaganda poster hides the true suffering of war. The pretense of reality, the sign masks the absence of a profound reality. The real characters in a TV show don't actually exist. Pure simulacrum. The sign bears no relation to any reality whatever. It is its own pure simulacrum. This is what Baudrillard calls hyperreality. The distinction between reality and the sign has dissolved. And here we are, in this fourth stage. Whether something is real or not no longer matters. What matters is that it makes us feel as if it's real. We live within a simulation, like being inside a matrix. This isn't just a result of technology, it's also a consequence of our cultural, social, and economic systems. We now even design our experiences by thinking, will this look good on Instagram? The experience itself matters less than its image, its digital footprint. This situation slowly detaches us from reality, alienating us from ourselves and from each other.
Social media is one of the most concrete and striking examples of Baudrillard's theories. Those flawless skins we see on Instagram, those tropical vacations, those gourmet meals, they're all filtered, edited, a compilation of perfect moments. In real life, no one lives every moment so flawlessly, but on social media, this illusion of a perfect life is so dominant that our own ordinary, unfiltered lives begin to feel incomplete, insufficient. Influencer culture has transformed this perfect life simulacrum into an industry. People with hundreds of thousands, even millions of followers have become lifestyle products. Their lives, their clothing, what they eat, what they drink, even the shampoo they use, all become billboards. And us, yearning for these fabricated lives that they market as real, plunge ourselves even deeper into that cycle. When we buy a brand's product, we're essentially buying the lifestyle, the identity that the brand promises us. So it's not just a perfume, but the image that the perfume scent evokes. This leads to our personality and identity being defined, bought, and manipulated externally. Let's go even further. The fake intimacies we form on social media. We might have thousands of friends or followers. Every day we see, like, and comment on hundreds of posts, but can these virtual interactions truly replace the warmth of a genuine friendship, a real conversation, a real hug? When I was a computer science student, a friend once told me, social media is the easiest way to experience loneliness in a crowd. How true. On one hand, there's the illusion of a global village where everything is transparent and everyone knows everyone in the digital realm. On the other, there's the bitter reality that in this village, everyone is looking at their own screen, living out their own solitude. One of the best examples illustrating Baudrillard's concept of simulacrum is global brands and theme parks. Consider a McDonald's restaurant. What's the difference in taste, presentation, or even atmosphere between a Big Mac you eat in America and one you eat in Tokyo, Paris, or Istanbul? Almost none. Everything is standardized. Everything is perfectly copied. It's as if we're not consuming a hamburger, but an idea of a hamburger, a McDonald's experience. These standardized experiences are not limited to fast food chains. Theme parks like Disneyland, artificial entertainment cities like Las Vegas are the embodiment of what Baudrillard called hyperreality. Disneyland is a simulation of the American dream, of childhood fairy tales, of pure joy. But this simulation is so detailed, so convincing, that it seems more real than an actual fairy tale world. The happy moments you spend there are part of a designed experience. As consumers, you are buying this happiness, this experience. Rather than a genuine amusement park experience, you're getting the most perfect, sterilized version of fun. You're experiencing the image of reality in a copy that has no original. This situation isn't confined to large brands or entertainment parks. Even when strolling through shopping malls, we can feel this. Every store, every display window promises us a specific lifestyle, a specific identity. But how much of these identities are truly ours? Or are they merely options presented to us, carefully constructed roles? Consumption, rather than merely fulfilling needs, has become the primary tool for our search for identity and our self-construction. And at the end of this quest, we can be left with a superficial identity that belongs to nothing. This, too, continuously fuels that sense of meaninglessness and emptiness within us. In today's world, Baudrillard's theories have taken on an even more unsettling dimension with artificial intelligence and deepfake technologies. Deepfakes refer to realistic-looking but actually fake videos, audio, or images. A politician being shown saying something they never said. A celebrity appearing to do something they never did. These are no longer just plots in science fiction movies, but situations we encounter in our daily lives. This technology pushes the manipulation of reality so far that we've begun to doubt the authenticity of what we see with our own eyes and hear with our own ears. Questions like, did this really happen? Is this video real? Have become part of our daily routine. This situation fundamentally shakes not just our individual perception, but also societal trust and our understanding of news. We are creating a hyper-reality. Here, the line between what is real and what is fabricated has become so blurred that distinguishing them is almost impossible. Reality has been copied so many times, manipulated so often, that we now live with a version that seems more real than reality. And this, perhaps, is one of the deepest sources of the everything feels fake sensation.
A moment ago, we explored Baudrillard's theory of simulation, understanding how images have supplanted reality. Now let's consider one of the biggest enablers, perhaps the most powerful engine of this simulation state. Yes, you guessed it, modern capitalism and its insatiable culture of consumption. These two, hand in hand, lie at the very heart of what we might call the everything feels fake syndrome. Marketing strategies whisper into our ears from the moment we wake up. You are special. You are unique. This product will express you. Even a simple coffee mug is presented as a reflection of your personality, with a slogan emblazoned upon it. It's as if our identity, our personality, our very self, has come to be defined by the things we buy. If I buy this branded bag, I'll be cooler. If I get this phone, I'll seem more creative. If I drink this coffee, I'll appear more elite. These narratives are so deeply ingrained within us that distinguishing what is a genuine need from what is an imposed desire becomes increasingly difficult. Our identities are marketed like products, bought and constantly replaced with new ones. We live in an age where our personality, much like a fashion trend, has become seasonal. Capitalism constantly emphasizes the importance of being an individual. Advertisements speak directly to you, placing you at the center, claiming to be special just for you. However, the irony is that this emphasis on individuality paradoxically makes us more alike and dissolves us into the consumer society, because everyone buys the same special products to be special. Everyone wears the same unique designs to look different. It's a paradoxical spiral. The effort we expend to express our individuality actually pushes us further into standardized consumer patterns. Thanks to intelligent algorithms, our digital footprints are tracked, our tastes and interests analyzed. The result? Advertisements and recommendations tailored specifically for us. So personalized, it feels as if they know us better than we know ourselves. This is perfect for you. We picked this just for you. These narratives make us feel seen, valued. Yet this visibility is less about genuine connection and more about being targeted as a consumable object. What makes us special as customers is essentially our potential to purchase that special feeling. This is a system designed not to view us as subjects, but as market segments. As we buy things to feel special, we simultaneously realize how easily that special feeling can be bought, and thus how fake it truly is. In the modern world, identity is not merely an internal self-discovery, but also an external construction process. And the building blocks of this construction are often comprised of brands, products, and services.
From the clothes we wear in the morning to the phone we use, the coffee we drink, and the holiday destinations we choose, every selection becomes a symbol that tells ourselves and the world who we are. Especially among younger generations, affiliation with certain brands or product categories serves as a declaration of identity. I'm a user of X. I wear this brand. This is my style. These statements are not just product preferences, they become markers of social group membership, symbols of status. But how much of these identities are truly ours? Are they genuine expressions from within, or merely roles offered to us by society and marketing? This aligns perfectly with Baudrillard's theory of simulation. Our identities, rather than being built upon a true self, are constructed through images of the self. The constant emergence of new models and trends makes these identities feel perpetually outdated. The latest phone you bought a month ago is suddenly replaced by a newer model, and you instantly feel obsolete. This cycle continuously pushes us into a search for a new self, trapping us in a perpetual cycle of consumption. And these new selves are so temporary, so fake. It's a self-construction that we can never quite fully achieve, always feeling as though it will be completed with the next purchase. This in turn continuously fuels that sense of meaninglessness and emptiness within us. The culture of consumption commodifies not just objects, but also relationships and experiences. We start to believe that we can buy love, friendship, or even happiness. Dating apps transform human relationships into a product catalog. We browse potential partners' profiles, liking or swiping just like we'd choose a new item on a shopping app. Relationships too become consumption experiences, fast, temporary, and easily interchangeable for the next option. Furthermore, there's the concept of the experience economy. We're no longer just buying products, we're buying experiences. Attending a concert, being at a festival, taking an exotic vacation. These are not just memories, but also products that can be shared on social media and used to generate content. Even sitting in a cafe drinking coffee is not merely consuming a beverage, but purchasing the cafe's ambiance, its concept, its experience. How authentic are these experiences? Or are they packaged, standardized experience bundles marketed to us? A genuine experience is filled with unexpected moments and spontaneous emotions. However, bought experiences are often staged, pre-planned, and designed to be photogenic. This also makes us feel a distance between what is real and what is authentic. Capitalism commodifies even the human soul. The self-help industry presents happiness, peace, and success as books, courses, coaching sessions. It's as if spiritual balance is a service that can be bought, a product package. But true personal growth is an inner journey, requiring painful confrontations, effort, and time. The consumption-oriented approach, however, promises us quick fixes, happiness in a pill. These fast, superficial solutions only temporarily mask the deep-seated emptiness, never truly filling it. And when we realize this, that everything feels fake sensation descends over us much more intensely. Capitalism feeds on a constant feeling of inadequacy within us. It perpetually promises us better, newer, and more. The latest smartphone, a faster car, a bigger house, a more exotic vacation. Every new purchase creates an instant sense of gratification. However, this gratification, much like a drug, is short-lived, because immediately afterwards, we're filled with the feeling that something better has come out, that we need more. This is an insatiable hunger, a perpetual cycle.
Within this cycle, we lose appreciation for what we already possess. Constantly chasing the next new thing, we fail to see the beauty and sufficiency of what is already present. This makes us individuals who, the more we consume, feel emptier and search more intensely for meaning. Consumption becomes an escapism mechanism used to solve an existential crisis. But this escape plunges us into an even deeper void. Because true connections, true meanings, peace and happiness, these cannot be bought with money. And when we realize this, that everything feels fake feeling settles over us much more powerfully.
Just now, we discussed Baudrillard's theory of simulation and how images have replaced reality and how capitalism fuels this world of images. If Baudrillard's theory surprised you, then get ready for how the platform I'm about to discuss takes these theories to the next level. Behold, the queen of the age of micro-meanings, TikTok. 15-second lives, instant laughs, rapidly shifting trends, the constant chase after the next big thing. TikTok is the clearest indicator of how short modern human attention spans have become, how fragmented our search for meaning is, and how our emotional world has transformed into a fast food experience. When everything is so fast and superficial, how can we construct deep meanings? How can we focus on a complex topic? How can we delve into the layers of an emotion? In this world of micro-meanings, genuine emotions, complex thoughts, and profound conversations struggle to find their place. Everything turns into a piece of content, a fleeting memory that we consume and scroll past in an instant. For Generation Z and even Generation Alpha, TikTok is practically a way of life. Every moment of the day, every second, holds the potential to create or consume content. As soon as you wake up, your hand reaches for your phone and you fall into that endless scrolling loop. During breakfast, on the bus, between classes, in the restroom, every spare moment becomes an opportunity to watch a TikTok video. This not only shortens our attention spans, but also trains our brains to constantly seek something new, perpetually triggering the dopamine cycle. Each new video delivers a small dopamine hit. Our brains become so accustomed to this instant gratification that things requiring patience in real life, like deep thought or long-term goals, gradually become meaningless. On this platform, speed is paramount. If a video can't hook you in the first 3 seconds, it's swiped away. This culture of speed also shapes our real-life expectations. It's as if everything must happen immediately. Every problem must be solved instantly. Patience, depth, process, these concepts are slowly being erased from the modern human lexicon. Yet true meaning often emerges from processes that demand patience and deep engagement. This, in turn, traps us in a cycle where everything feels superficial and fake.
If you were to ask me what the primary language of TikTok is, I would undoubtedly say humor and irony. Every event, every situation becomes material for a meme. Political developments, global crises, societal problems, all can be condensed into a short, funny, or ironic video. While this can sometimes raise awareness about social issues, it also risks stripping them of their seriousness and depth. A culture of emotional detachment also emerges here. Even sensitive topics, when handled with humor or filtered through irony, can lose their real impact. For example, a meme about climate change might elicit a smile or a moment of thought for a few seconds. But does it generate real motivation for action? Or do we simply react for a moment, then scroll to the next video? On this platform, instant reactions and quick comments dominate, rather than emotional depth, complex feelings, and sustained thought. This pushes us into a kind of emotional numbness towards events around us, as if everything is merely part of a performance, a show. Where did genuine feelings go? This is why everything feels as if it's being staged in a theater, feeling fake. Even more striking is TikTok's ability to turn anxiety, unhappiness, and even depression into an aesthetic object, a piece of content. Videos themed around depression, artistic presentations of anxiety attacks, melancholic aesthetic trends. These videos transform individuals' genuine pain into a performance, a form of content. Concepts like main character syndrome are related to this, the desire to live and present one's life as if it were the lead role in a movie or TV show. While this can provide an outlet for self-expression, it also carries a very serious risk, the risk of commodifying our true emotional experiences. Suffering itself becomes a performance, content. Instead of truly experiencing pain, we consume the aestheticized, watchable version of pain. Watching a breakup story time, we witness and comment on someone else's heartache. Could this erode our capacity for genuine empathy? This culture built on the display of emotions rather than their experience can distance us from our own emotional reality. No matter how genuinely we suffer, we might even begin to question whether it's expressed correctly or if it's interesting enough. This forces us to question what is real and what is fabricated, what is sincere and what is a performance. And when we can't find the answers to these questions, that everything feels fake sensation only intensifies. One of TikTok's most powerful aspects is the uncanny accuracy of its algorithm. It knows so well what content will capture your interest and keep you on the platform longer that sometimes you even surprise yourself. So how does this affect our identity? While the algorithm constantly feeds us content that we will like, it is in a way also shaping who we are. Continuously consuming the same type of content can narrow our interests. The content the algorithm presents us might feel much more personal, much more ours than the real world outside. This creates an echo chamber effect. We remain surrounded only by content that confirms our own views and interests. We might become closed off to different perspectives and diverse information. Furthermore, these personalized contents can lead us to an illusion about our own self, as if the algorithm has discovered our true self and is reflecting it back to us. But let's not forget that this is a consumption-driven algorithm, and its goal is to entertain us and keep us on the platform, not to help us find our true self. In this scenario, a significant part of our identity construction is built on an artificial intelligence defining us and making recommendations. Our own self, under the shadow of algorithms, is constantly reshaped according to fleeting trends and micro-contents. This makes it difficult for our identity to rest on solid foundations and leads us to ask, who am I really? And this uncertainty and constantly shifting sense of identity deepens that everything feels fake syndrome.
In the previous sections, we discussed how reality has transformed into an image, how capitalism and social media fuel this fakeness, and how the age of micro-meanings has reshaped our perception of reality. In this connected yet isolated world, the human spirit naturally seeks an escape. In an environment where everything feels so fake, where do people turn? They begin to search for meaning and reality not out there, but within. And this is precisely where spiritual escapism, new age movements, and the self-help industry enter the stage. Manifestation, sending messages to the universe, the law of attraction, crystal healing, astrology, past life regressions. These are powerful reflections of modern humanity's quest to break free from the simulation, a deep yearning for genuine meaning and authenticity. Change your life with the power of thought. Send your intentions to the universe. Discover your true self. These promises offer us hope for taking control of our lives, finding inner peace, and perhaps even stepping outside this fake world. However, ironically, we also see that these spiritual escapes can themselves transform into consumer objects, products, and sometimes even another layer of the very simulation we seek to escape, a new illusion. Manifestation, or the belief in bringing something into reality or making it appear, is one of the most popular spiritual trends of recent years. At its core lies the idea of positive thinking and belief in the energetic laws of the universe. People believe they can attract their dreams, goals, and desires into real life by visualizing them, focusing on them, and sending the right energy to the universe. In a way, it's a hope that they possess the power to create their own reality. It's an outward expression of the desire to gain control in a world that feels increasingly uncontrollable and uncertain. The popularity of this movement stems from people feeling lost in the complexity of the modern world, from feelings of powerlessness, and from an existential void. If everything is fake, then maybe I can create my own truth, right? This thought sounds quite appealing. However, such movements often present a very simplistic worldview. The idea that everything can change simply through the power of thought tends to overlook real-life effort, obstacles, and difficulties. While it offers hope, it can also lead individuals to blame themselves in cases of failure. You didn't want it enough. You didn't send the right vibrations. New Age movements follow a similar trajectory. Practices like crystal healing, astrological readings, energy clearing, and chakra balancing promise simple and natural solutions to complex modern problems. People tend to turn towards more intuitive, mystical, and ancient knowledge when faced with the complexity of scientific information. However, most of these movements are not based on scientific principles and often rely on personal beliefs or cultural interpretations. This, of course, means everyone has the freedom to choose their own beliefs. But the real question that needs to be asked is whether these spiritual quests are also being commodified.
Concepts like reincarnation, past life therapies, and connecting with the universe are intimately tied to modern humanity's fear of death, existential anxieties, and the search for meaning in this life. If we can't find meaning in this life, perhaps there is meaning in our past lives or future lives. This thought can offer an escape route from personal responsibility or the difficulties of current reality. Such beliefs can offer a spiritual explanation and thus a solution to complex psychological issues, traumas, or life's difficulties. However, these solutions are often not scientific or evidence-based. For example, explaining a person's current relational problem with past life karma might delay or prevent that person from confronting their real problems. Escapism from reality can be a significant factor driving the appeal of such beliefs. If the world we inhabit is so boring, meaningless, or fake, then perhaps the real world is hidden in another dimension, another life, or in the depths of the universe. While this offers us hope, does it provide an escape route from our responsibilities and difficulties in our current reality, or does it plunge us into a new delusion? The answers to these questions lie within each individual. The truly ironic and thought-provoking point is this. Even the spiritual escapes of the modern age often become part of the capitalist consumption cycle. Meditation apps come with subscription fees. Seminars by spiritual gurus have high participation costs. And crystals and special objects are sold at exorbitant prices. It's as if enlightenment, peace, or inner balance are being marketed as products, becoming purchasable packages. This situation gives rise to the concept of spiritual consumerism. People might prefer to buy a spiritual experience or to appear enlightened rather than embarking on a genuine inner journey or undergoing deep transformation. A thought like, I paid this many dollars, did this much energy clearing, and now I'm at peace, actually creates the perception that peace itself is a commodity. True peace and inner balance cannot be bought externally. They require inner work, a process, a transformation. However, this consumable spirituality promises us a quick fix, a peace pill, thereby superficializing our deeper true quest. This leaves us wondering whether we are truly on a spiritual journey or merely part of another simulation. This situation reproduces the everything feels fake syndrome in a different dimension. Amidst this entire digital and virtual world, some people consciously seek to return to reality. Digital detoxes, escaping city life, moving to the countryside, embracing a minimalist lifestyle. These movements are attempts to escape from Baudrillard's hyper-reality
and the consumption frenzy imposed by capitalism. People try to feel more authentic by reconnecting with nature, working with real materials, and living a simple life. These efforts can indeed provide spiritual relief and a sense of reality. Touching a tree, feeling the soil, creating something with your own hands, these are ways to move away from the superficiality offered by the virtual world and cling to physical and sensory reality. However, there's a point we must be careful about here. Even the return to nature and minimalist living can sometimes become a trend, transforming into an image. An imperfect forest cabin photo or a minimalist lifestyle video shared on social media is not the lifestyle itself, but a simulacrum of it. It can become a marketed lifestyle product rather than a genuine way of life. Nevertheless, such escapes are a powerful indicator of modern humanity's longing for what is real. We've just discussed how reality has been transformed into an image, how capitalism fuels this world of images, social media's obsession with micro-meanings, and how even spiritual escapes can sometimes turn into new simulations. Amidst this entire connected world, these perfect lives, this incessant sharing frenzy, it's impossible not to notice a strange, profound, and ever-growing sense of loneliness. Perhaps the most painful consequence of everything feeling so fake is precisely this: the loss of genuine connection. It's as if we all live in our own little glass cages within a massive digital city. We can see each other, talk to each other, even like each other. But these glass walls prevent us from touching, from hugging, from making eye contact, from truly understanding and being understood. The French sociologist Émile Durkheim's concept of anomie perfectly describes the situation, almost as if he were describing today's world, a state where societal norms and meanings become blurred, where the individual becomes alienated from themselves and their society, a kind of normlessness or aimlessness. The speed of modern life, its constantly shifting values, and this fakeness make us feel like digital nomads. Our sense of belonging diminishes, our social ties weaken, and we are left, deep down, with a profound emptiness. Humans, by nature, are social beings. We need to connect, to belong, to love and be loved. However, modern society, while idolizing individualism, has caused us to overlook these fundamental human needs. We are constantly fed messages like focus on yourself, live your own life, prioritize your own happiness. While this approach can be healthy to a certain extent, when taken to extremes, it isolates us from others, weakening our social bonds. Social media platforms, while telling us we have thousands of friends or followers, ironically isolate us at the same time. The relationships we form through screens are often superficial. We might watch someone's most important moment as a story or send a get well soon message. But is this the same as a genuine friend putting an arm around your shoulder, making eye contact, and having a deep conversation, sharing their pain or joy? In the digital age, quantity has overridden quality. We might get hundreds of likes, but does that truly make us feel loved or understood? More often than not, no. This creates a deep sense of alienation that leaves us feeling empty inside. Although we appear connected as a society, we are actually becoming fragmented, isolated individuals. Everyone lives in their own content bubble, and these bubbles rarely truly touch each other.
Dating and social apps emerged as new ways to meet people. However, these applications have turned human relationships into a product catalog. Individuals browse profiles of potential partners or friends, liking or swiping just as one would select a brand or product. This superficiality makes it difficult to form genuine connections.
While focusing on people's appearances, specific hobbies, or short biographies, it becomes much harder to delve into their depths, to understand their vulnerabilities, fears, or true desires. Online games, forums, or social media groups through which online communities are formed carry a similar dynamic. While these communities, built around a specific topic, can provide a sense of belonging, they often do not offer the richness and depth that face to face communication brings. The lack of physical touch, the inability to read facial expressions and body language can lead to misunderstandings. These fake connections deprive us of genuine human touch and real emotional sharing. Sometimes we prioritize an online comment or a meme over a real conversation. And this, perhaps, is the most painful reason why everything feels fake. Our emotional hunger is being attempted to be satisfied by a digital illusion. In the modern world, we are in a constant state of noise. Phone notifications, emails, social media feeds, news websites, online series. Our minds are continuously bombarded with external stimuli. We cannot tolerate even a moment of quiet. When waiting for a bus, standing in line, or simply sitting in silence, we immediately reach for our phones. Why? Because this digital noise actually serves to mask the silence within us, that void, that unsettling feeling of loneliness. Whenever we put our phones down, close social media, and the noise around us subsides, that's when we are left alone, with that internal feeling of loneliness and meaninglessness. This confrontation is daunting for most people, because the digital world offers us a perpetual illusion of busyness and connection, allowing us to escape this confrontation. However, this escape doesn't solve a problem, it merely postpones it. The internal void grows progressively larger, deepening the everything feels fake sensation, because we even shy away from genuine contact with ourselves. Social media is like a runway where we see everyone's best versions, every moment from everywhere. On vacations, at parties, and successes, everyone is smiling, everyone is having fun, everyone is living their perfect life. This inevitably leads to a culture of social comparison. We compare our own ordinary lives with others' perfect fabrications. This comparison often makes us feel inadequate, unsuccessful, or unhappy. This is one of the reasons why psychological conditions like depression, anxiety, and feelings of loneliness are so prevalent in the modern age. When seemingly everyone is so happy and successful, our own inner emptiness and unhappiness make us feel as if we are not normal. This pushes individuals further inward, making them hide their true feelings and invest more in the perfect image. And this, in turn, traps us in a continuous cycle of performing, of constantly playing a role. The longer this performance continues, the further we drift from our true selves, and the stronger that everything feels fake feeling becomes. Because even we ourselves are fake to ourselves. Today, we have peeled back the layers of that everything feels fake sensation that engulfs us in the modern age. We've journeyed from Baudrillard's simulations to the promises of capitalism, from TikTok's micro-meanings to spiritual escapes, and finally, to the loneliness this feeling brings. So, amidst so many layers of fakeness, what was real? Where do we find that lost feeling, that authentic connection? Perhaps the only real thing is that deep-seated feeling that everything is fake itself. This feeling, in essence, is a warning sign, like an alarm bell. It's a cry calling us to wake up, to look at the illusions around us with a critical eye, to turn inward, to seek genuine connections, to reconstruct meaning. This feeling isn't a weakness, it can be a starting point. In this digital noise and sea of simulations, the only thing left in silence is your connection with yourself. Your own thoughts, your own emotions, your own body, your unfiltered, unadulterated self. Have you ever paused, put your phone aside, muted all the external sounds, and just focused on your own breath? Have you listened to your inner voice? It is in those moments, in that silence, that you can reconnect with what is real. Practices like meditation and mindfulness are simple yet powerful ways to return to this inner reality. Becoming aware of our own thoughts and feelings makes us more resilient against external manipulations. Another way to approach reality is to hone our critical thinking skills, to question everything we see, hear, and read, to ask, how accurate is this information? How realistic is this visual? How credible is this promise? To break free from the echo chambers algorithms drag us into, to open ourselves to different perspectives, to try and understand complex issues without oversimplifying them. Media literacy and digital literacy have in essence become survival skills in today's world. Being the master of our own perceptions is the most fundamental way to protect ourselves against the fake realities presented to us. Perhaps most importantly, it's about having the courage to form genuine connections, to look into the eyes of our loved ones instead of at a screen, to call and hear someone's voice instead of just sending a text, to truly support someone by being there instead of just leaving a like, to not be afraid to being vulnerable, of being exposed. Real conversations, real laughter, real tears, these are the antidotes to fakeness. Re-strengthening social bonds, forming small communities, building relationships based on mutual support and empathy. This is what can give us back a sense of belonging, meaning, and thus reality.
Let's remember that this everything feels fake feeling is actually an invitation. An invitation to approach ourselves, each other, and the world we live in a more authentic way. Perhaps this feeling has brought us to the very doorstep of reality. Because everything feels fake, but maybe that feeling is real. Experiencing this feeling, questioning this feeling, is precisely what reality itself is. This feeling is proof that we can still think, feel, and question. And this, perhaps, is the most valuable reality of the modern age.